What's good, YouTube, and welcome to Watchdog Wednesdays. And I know it's not Wednesday, but better late than early, am I right? I actually had a legit reason to be late. I was out of town at a college visit doing good things for my life. And look at you, you're sitting here watching this. I'm sure you have better things to do than watch my crappy videos. Also, I'm not responsible for any diseases caught during my videos. That includes bubonic plague, Zika virus, and Bieber fever. Today's discussion will be on the Apple versus FBI case on encryption. So, if you're here for that, you came to the right place. Now, something I gotta say is I've tried 3 times to record live commentary over Watch Dogs gameplay, and it's just not working out. So, and I've had some really good hacks today, so I think I'm just gonna play them in the background, and I'm sorry, and just have the discussion play over it. So I'm terribly sorry, but the live commentary should be back soon. If anyone missed it that much, I mean, honestly. Bows, I have a cancer, bows. So the Apple versus FBI case caught my eye from the first article. It has to do with some of my favorite things: encryption, the government, and terrorism. If for some reason you don't know what this case is about right now, basically, they're both being a bunch of pansies. The FBI is in possession of an iPhone used by the San Bernardino shooter, and they haven't been able to unlock it because if they incorrectly enter a passcode 10 times, all the data gets deleted, happy face. Also, they are unable to simply hack in because newer iOS versions automatically encrypt the data, which means all the data is scrambled until you input your passcode. Basically, the passcode's a variable needed to complete a very complicated math problem that if you put all the encrypted data through, it'll unscramble it for you. Kind of like a translator without the frickin' translator. Because of encryption, the FBI basically has nothing they can do besides either develop their own hack, which you'd think wouldn't be too much of a big deal because it's the frickin' FBI, or they can ask Apple for help. They decided to ask Apple for help, but instead of asking, "Hey, can you please unlock my phone, thanks," they slapped a big old court order in their face in an attempt to force Apple to create a compromised version of iOS with a backdoor that allows the government to bypass any security precautions. Imagine a school combination lock with a keyhole in the back. The teachers get the master key, you know? Surprisingly to some, Apple said no and refused to help the FBI. Now, doing something like creating a master key for encryption would certainly help the Justice Department in thwarting terrorist plots, sure, but at what cost? It's fair to say that with more security comes less freedom to people and citizens, but if Apple were to do this, would there be more at stake than just privacy in those nudes you have? Imagine a student stole the master key, made duplicates, and distributed them throughout the school. You then have a gang of people with evil intentions with free reign to all your personal belongings. Anything on your phone that they want, they can take. That's a lot of nudes. A huge reason why it's important that Apple continues to oppose the FBI is because if Apple caves in, then other tech giants will probably follow. Down goes Google, Samsung, what other tech companies there are. If that happens, then basically that sets a precedent that we're allowing the government to push and bully perfectly legitimate and legal companies and doing things that compromise their own products. The only way I can see something like this working out is if the backdoor algorithm is constantly changing. They would have to find a way to calculate a key that only works for a given window of time. That way, if the key gets leaked, it cannot be used. Anyways, that's kind of off topic. Back to the case. Basically, Apple has stuck to their guns and pretty much defeated the FBI to the point of forcing them to drop their case. So now the FBI is turning to other sources to unlock the phone like they should have done in the first place. If unlocking the iPhone was really all they wanted, then they wouldn't have gone after Apple like this. They wanted that master key. Monday, March 28th, 2016, the FBI announced they managed to unlock an iPhone 5C in the San Bernardino case without Apple's assistance. So you would think that since the government hacked into Apple's product and since they represent the United States, they do the mature thing and tell Apple how to fix it, right? For the well-being of consumers, right? And their citizens, right? Well, good sir, what made you think that we live in a mature society? The FBI is keeping it a secret from Apple right now, and in my head, I really want to say it's because they're holding a grudge. On the other hand, it could very well be because once they tell Apple, they won't be able to access the data in that way anymore. So, let's just finish up here with a recap. A shooting happens, FBI recovers an iPhone that may or may not provide answers, FBI cannot access said iPhone, and instead, of trying to figure it out in a mature manner, they slap a court order on Apple that would force them to compromise their own security. Apple refuses the FBI's demand in order to uphold certain precedents and consumer privacy policy. FBI fires shots at Apple, saying they support terrorists and it would be an easy fix for them. Apple still refuses, and the FBI drops the case and does it themselves. FBI refuses to tell Apple how they hacked in. So that's the current state of that story. Kinda reminds me of a middle school playground fight, but what can you do, you know? Sorry this one wasn't as funny, but I felt the need to talk about it, especially with all the crap going on recently. Something interesting that I should bring up to finish today's discussion is a fun fact about courts' ability to force information out of people. If they ask you for your phone passcode, you aren't obligated to tell them. But if your phone is locked by a fingerprint scanner, they can legally force you to put your finger on the scanner and unlock your phone. That's whether it be your finger or another body part, they can force you legally. I don't know what other body parts you would have possibly experimented with for the fingerprint unlock, but I mean, I would assume it's just your hands and your fingers. I mean, those are the only appended. Needless to say, I never plan on using fingerprints to unlock my phone. So thank you so much for sticking with me through this video, guys. I know it wasn't the funniest, but at least it was a bit informative and you were entertained. Let's set a little like goal. 1 like equals 1 encryption key. I will make a key for you, and you'll be able to access all the internet.